Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Resistance Search for Value. This is going to be, I was looking through all of the Resistance ships after the points change for X-Wing 2.5, trying to find some ships that I think offer really good value so you can either squeeze them in at the end of squad building or use them as a crutch for your list. Okay, let's just jump right into it because I'm trying to make these relatively snappy videos. Again, I'm kind of just back from the gym. I've had a busy day, but I want to keep this productivity going. I think we went through this on my long breakdown of points changes, but I was really struggling to find something in the Y Wings. Zori is still strong because of her ability being so good. She's got a bunch of loadout value, is an I5, but a quarter of your list, you've got to, I think if you're going to run Zori, you have to find bargains. So you've got to build around her, but you can pretty much do anything you want with her with this amount of loadout and all of these slots. You're not going to be able to fill them all with power, but you'll be able to tailor that ship to be something that you need it to be. And her ability is pretty strong. And the Fireball, I think obviously R1J5 being your 2-point ship is pretty good. I'm a big fan. The ability is nice on the Fireball, it keeps it open, and the fact that it's got the native slam action makes this guy really good for just getting around the table, covering off areas, just occupying space, all of that kind of stuff. No loadout value, but I think he's good enough. Personally, I'll be taking the evade action 90% of the time over calculate here because I just want him to be alive and occupying space. But I think he's pretty good. The 3 point, I think Jaeger at 3 points for a 5 is good value. I can't lie. I think that's pretty good. You can still take the Fireball title, and you've got points to do other things with. Then the A-Wings, the bane of everyone who's playing the cargo towing scenarios at the moment. The fact that you can use them to do the scenario action and then link into boosts and stuff like that, rotating. There's a lot of just power in this. It's really, really good at that specific scenario. Where am I finding the most value? Greer, his ability is good. Obviously, it's an extraction again, so you can still rotate and do all of your other stuff as well, just keeping guns on target. Where else were we looking? I think Lulo being the same as Tally with more loadout, just I think that the value is in the wrong place there. Zari is really good just because of the being able to slam into people, still do actions. ZZ is just a pain to chew through. So yeah, there's value in these just for the scenarios. But Meryl, 3 points for an A-Wing, and you're still getting loadout value. I think this is where the value is for this ship. If you look at just that, there's 5 points. We've got the R1J5 and Meryl, 5 points. You're going to be controlling space all over the table. Yeah, it's not necessarily going to help you with the killy stuff, but I think Resistance has got enough other ships to be able to do that. But a lot of value with that combination, I think. Then the transport, pardon me. Not too much here. I think there's better ways to use the points in these, but Carver with 20 points of loadout, you can basically pile her up to do whatever you need. That would be my pick, but I don't think it's like hidden value or anything like that. Onto the pod, Rose, just every day of the week. She's got 8 points of loadout. I personally would would have done something about this because I think that it's a mistake. I think this is like a little bit too good. Well, I think though it is automated targeting. This is my my value pick for the faction. Rose with C3PO in Republic. You get access to a calculate. You get a coordinate, and you also gain a calculate after doing it. So you're always quasi-modded. Automated targeting lets you just keep extra mods if you need them. She's not there to really do offense, but her ability her ability is really strong. It lets you modify your dice, do rerolls, so that works on offense and defense. So I think there's a lot of value here. A 3-point coordinator, really cheap and just very efficient. I think this is probably one of my top picks for a faction. One thing I want to note is C3PO's additional ability. While you coordinate, you can choose friendly ships beyond range 2 if they have calculate on the action bar. So that goes really well into R1J5, helps him out. And all of the ships that have crew, because we've got loadout value now, you can throw on those droids that add calculate to your action bar to trigger 3PO, and you're not really wasting any points. You might be like misusing some of your loadout value, but to me, that's less of a sacrifice. So I think there's scope to have 3PO creep up in power just inherently due to his ability. Then Finn is fine. You can do a lot with Finn still. You have what heroic in there. You can do all of the normal stuff with him. He's pretty good. You know, I don't want to complain too much about Finn. He's pretty good, but I think Rose is the more valuable. Then Ray with 25 points. The way I've been looking at this is I'm just going to do a quick mock up. That was Rose gone. So we've got our. Oh, we want Meryl as well, don't we? That's right. We want Meryl for 3 points. I've got 4 points left. I mean, where do we want to go? We want something killy. So price there's 4-point ships here. There we go. That's fine. But something like this, I think, could work pretty well. Where you've got X-wing for 3 dice attack, Ray to just be a powerhouse, a couple of ships to control area, Rose just pumping out coordinates, and as I said, you have enough loadout value where you can drop in either GA97 to let one of these ships come in from reserve, or you could go PZ4CO and do. Well, I mean, I don't really care what it does. At the end of the activation phase, you may choose one friendly ship at range 1 to 2. If you do, transfer one calculate to that ship. If your revealed mover is blue, you may transfer a focus instead. So I'm never going to trigger this ability, but I'm getting to be coordinated from anywhere on the table by Rose. And that's what it's actually about. I'm paying 5 points to double dip on 3PO's ability effectively. But it could be worth going with its resistance and throwing R1J5 off the table just for some extra late area control. Then we have the T70s. There's a bunch in here. I'm going to start with the obvious. I think that 7-point Poe Dameron with 25 points of loadout, I think there's value there. I think now that you just get to take the toys that you want on him, just pushes him up a notch. Like previously, if you had to run a Poe and you wanted to load him up, he was a massive investment. And it's not to say 7 points isn't significant, but I think you're eking out a lot more value than you're giving up. Unfortunately for me, that has pushed Hero of Heralds of Hope Poe, or Commander Poe, as I think he should be called, down a little bit because he's only 1 point cheaper, a lot of less than half a loadout, can't take Black One. I just think you're losing a lot of value there. We do have the usual stuff. So Temin, the good Temin for me, the Heralds of Hope Temin's got a really strong ability, but you are paying squad points for that now. I think this is a really the T70 X-wings. I think are probably the best example of what AMG are aiming for. That's kind of a different conversation. I don't want to get derailed. I'll waffle on too long. But the 5-pointers you can do some really funky stuff with. But this is where I think the value is. Cheap 4-point ship and a T70 1 point with 8 points of loadout. I think there's decent value here. I don't know what do we want? What you can do BB-8s to just get your pre-move barrel roll. That's pretty. I mean, it's pre-move repositioning, which is really valuable now given road. Um, and it's expensive. Eats up a big chunk of points, but you have enough. You can still do the ion missile, I don't know, and the swung blaster cannon. You can do some fun stuff with him. But I think there's value in these two 4-point pilots. And that's the Resistance faction. There's not as many ships in there as you'd hope. I'm still struggling to get my head around these Y-wings. So if you've got any ideas how you'd use the Y-wings, let me know. Leave some comments. We've had really, really good pickup of comments on these videos, so please keep that going. I really do appreciate it. It's been fun to actually chat to you all. I do think we're pretty much done though, so make sure you like the videos, subscribe to the channel if you want more updates, and thanks everyone who's picked up and ran with the revival of the channel. It's been really nice to see all of the arrows pointing upwards for a change. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you all on the next one.